Okay, so today we're going to make a veggie cobbler, and I'll be honest, this is an involved recipe. It's like a 4-step process. You have to saute your mushrooms and your onion, you have to boil your other vegetables and transfer all of that into a pot. Then you cover it with your topping. I like to use a cornmeal topping, and then you bake it. So there's a lot of chopping, there are several steps that you have to follow, but it is so worth it. So here we go. I'm just gonna add some butter in here. I like to use Earth Balance. It looks like a lot, I know, it does. It's 3 tablespoons, don't judge. Just gonna toss in the onion. Okay, I'm gonna pour in my vegetable broth. Cup of milk. Okay, and so now it's time for my least favorite part, cutting up the butternut squash. But you only need a 1/2 cup. Okay, so this next step is the easiest step that you'll have throughout this whole process. You dump in your veggies and let them come to a boil. So basically you need a 1/2 cup of everything with the exception of the peas. You need a 1.5 cups of those. So just dump that all in. So pretty, so colorful. 1.5 teaspoons of baking powder, a tablespoon of sugar, and then you need your cornmeal. You need 3/4 cups. There's 1/2. Sugar. And then a 1/2 teaspoon of salt. Whisk this together and then get ready to put in your wet ingredients. I added 1/2 cup of milk and an egg, or egg substitute in my case. Forgot to mention, you also need 1/2 tablespoon of oil. Avocado oil is really good for cooking. And so by the time you get your cornmeal topping finished, your vegetables should be softened enough to strain and then combine with your mushroom and onion bechamel mix that you made earlier. So let's get these out of this hot water. All right, let's pour in our mushroom onion mix. And now is also the time. If you don't think you have enough salt and pepper in there, or, you know, celery seed or thyme, and the nose knows, then now's the time to add it, right? You don't want to have to season your food after it's already been cooked. And now comes the easiest part of this whole process. You're gonna dump this in your baking dish, and then you're gonna coat it with that cornmeal topping and slap it in the oven that should be preheated to 400 degrees and let that bake until a nice golden brown. This is heavy. I want you to see it. that nice and even in your baking dish. Give this another stir because it has likely settled as you were busy. You just pour this over. This is going to bake for 25 minutes and it's going to be so good. This is a labor of love. If you make this dish, you make sure the person knows it took time. And not just the herb, but like literal time.